Ow! Oh my goodness. I'm live, and then I forgot to... Oh, there it is. Forgot to burn myself up a little bit. There we go. We're looking better now. How's it going, everyone? We're live. We're here. I'm gonna make sure we're good. And then we'll keep on rolling, huh? How we doing? How we doing? Ooh, yep. Okay, we got audio. We're live, we're live, we're live. We're here. We've got a webcam today. Hey, Shark, how's it going? We've got quite a bit to talk about. I've missed a lot over the last week and a half. Yeah, week and a half. It's been a little bit. It's been, life has been strange. Life has been strange. Sorry, I just uploaded on Instagram too, so I'm just making sure that post is fine. I'll share that to my story later. I hope everyone's doing good. We've got quite a few things we're going to be talking about. Some things are going to be a little uncomfortable for some of us. Where's GMK? I guess they're not going to do that anymore. Once again, I think we'll get GMK when we get GMK Kaiju. That's what the newest drop suggests. So if we're not going to get GMK now, that means we're probably going to get GMK Ghidorah or Baragon and Mothra later. So, which is a good thing. I would rather them release Movie Graphic Plus as sets rather than pairs. Pairs, they don't even release in the same month. They're just announced as, they just get announced in the same month. So, yeah, it's probably going to be a little bit. Maybe not super long if my intuition is actually going to be right this time. Also, yes, I'm wearing a red hat, but we can all clearly see it's a Slipknot hat. I'm going to flip it over behind me because it's a little obnoxious in the front here in the house, but I'm bald, so obviously you guys are going to be blinded by the reflection. So once again, this is a Slipknot hat, not another red hat that's trash and garbage. We all know. We all know. I'm a little spicy today. Yeah. And this kind of goes in with SDCC. We haven't had a new announcement for Tamashii for SH Monster since -0. And I've got some interesting things to bring up about that as well. I think it's all common knowledge now since I'm like 2 weeks behind, but basically -0 was supposed to be premiered at SDCC, and then Tamashii said, no. we solicitize, we put it on solicitation and for pre-order now. Which is why there was such a big gap, why there was like 6 days or 4 days, 5 days. They revealed it like on a Wednesday night or Thursday morning, and then, or Wednesday night or Thursday night, and then it wasn't until that next Tuesday, and that's SDCC. So second GMK, yeah, I'm right there with you. I would love them to hurry up GMK, but you know what, if it means that GMK will come out with GMK Ghidorah or Baragon or Mothra or whatever they're gonna do, I'm down to wait. So they've already got money that I don't have for the next 6 months. And then there's Kaiser too. So but yeah, so I think I better start off with explaining myself a little bit. We'll start off with SDCC. We'll kind of go in chronological order of everything happening that I haven't updated on. Basically, I did make a post saying that I would cover SDCC right here 2 weeks ago. And then I said, well, if there's no Godzilla stuff, I'll do everything else. Funny enough, there was no Ultraman at SDCC for Figuarts or anything. I don't think there was any Ultraman. And Dragon Ball didn't show off anything until Saturday. And it was not hype. I mean, okay, it was hype, but not hype enough to hold a whole stream over. What is this? Why did it go to Gundam? I've never looked up Gundam on here on my life. I didn't have this set up. You guys can already see I've got all my tabs set up. So this was the only SDCC. I only care about Baragon. Well, Baragon and we didn't even get 93. No, because it's probably going to be next. And by next, I mean soon. I'll just put it like that. I think it'll be soon. So it'll be this month. No, it was supposed to be -0. -0 was whatever when everyone was saying there was a monster its reveal at SDCC. It was supposed to be -0. So, and then obviously I mean, it was the first. Well, it wasn't even the first like in-person display because there is another prototype at the Tamashii Nation's Tokyo store. So, for SDCC though, like this is it. This is basically it. Which, mind you, this has one of the coolest accessories I've ever seen ever. This carries so much aura. It looks really cool. But it's a recolor. And then we got confirmation on the Trunks and Vegeta that are coming out soon with the bases, but we've already had that. Okay. The other things that are there, I don't have photos of, or admittingly, I just forgot to grab photos of, and that's Janemba is next. Or Janemba is now in the planning stages for Tamashii Nations. They're finally doing a Janemba. Because we voted for it with a bunch of other movie villains that had no chance of winning. It was stupid. I'm gonna try not to swear like the first 20 minutes of stream. I am mad. Anything Monster Arts. They had these pins. Thanks to their articulation series for keeping us updated and posting everything for us. So all of these are his photos, not mine. Once again, articulation series. Go follow him. These pins that were being given away, these weren't even licensed. These weren't supposed to come out, and Toho shut this shit down Thursday night. So that's why you don't see a lot of posts of these, because these weren't supposed to come out. So these weren't approved. GMK isn't my favorite, but we have so little Toho Mothra rep, I'll 100% buy her. Yeah, I'd do it. My internet is so crap. Oh no. I was gonna say it's definitely not my internet this time for once. Definitely not. Not lagging yet, at least. So we did have. I'm not gonna go through these photos because there's no need to. These are figures we've seen. The displays are really cool if you guys want to go look at them. Articulation series. Here, actually, how about I do this? Oops. If you guys want to go check this out. I was lagging. Oh no, I'm sorry, friend. There we go. Yeah. Yep. Okay, there we go. So yeah, if you guys want to follow along, there's the link. Or if you want to go check out things closer, this is how. Super 7 didn't really display anything new, although we did get a closer look at what the final look of the Ultimate Shin is going to be like. And there was some photos leaked, I think, from a factory sample, or a retail sample, but stolen from the factory. And the tail is impressive. In fact, I really do like this. This is the only thing I don't like is the atomic head. I think these two heads look awesome, and I think this figure looks fine, if I'm going to be honest. So, same thing with the Odo Island. It looks fine. Although, you know, like, it's kind of weird that they have one that's just got the teeth open, and then this one has an opening mouth. That's kind of strange. So, first, I think this is just the box of this, but this comes out in a few months. So, I mean, this looks good. It looks cool. And then the moths, which are already available, and this Godzilla, which if you're not gonna have, oh, okay, whatever. And then the last year's exclusive, of course. Super 7, not so much. We're gonna skip this company right here for a second. I do want to point out that this is not a Hiya Toys -1, so if you guys have seen it, it's not true. It's by Rex Toys, so not Hiya. Stands about 11 to 12 inches. Holy moly. But it's just probably going to be swivel articulation. Base, yeah. Arm swivel. sculpted by the same guy that did the dispensers, which is funny because the promotional for these have AI. They use AI, which is why you don't. I don't own the Shin Godzilla tape dispenser because I refused to buy it because it had AI for the promotionals. We had a maquette. I'm just gonna be honest. There wasn't a lot. The 3-0 Shin was back on display, but it's still in fucking prototype stage. Oops. Like I just, what's the point? And then we had this beautiful, yeah, see, TBA, because it wasn't supposed to be announced. I don't really know why they changed, um, but they did. They did. I will say, I'm a little afraid of the elbow articulation being the same, like -1. Best tail ever, maybe. Yeah, for that Shin. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. I do like that people are trying to act like it having more articulation than the Monster Arts is some sort of big deal when this was engineered like a year ago, year and a half ago, and the Monster Arts is 10 years old at this point. Like, yes, a modern figure that is aiming for articulation should have more articulation than a figure that was engineered 10 years ago. Now, you can still bring up the debate, well, they're still selling it like it's a modern mold, and that's absolutely true. In that comparison, that's fair, but just the shock of it having more articulation is kind of moot in my point. The 3-0 Shin said in an interview it would only be 220. Hmm. We'll see. I don't believe that. Unless it's not going to articulate. Unless it's not going to articulate, because that seems really cheap. But hey, you know what? I'll take a cheap Shin Godzilla. So I'll eventually get it. I don't know if I'll pre-order it. It kind of depends on when it goes up for pre-order, which I think I've got quite a while. Silicone skin. That's gonna be so weird on Shin. That's gonna be cool. So yeah. Tamashi did do a few other things. They did kind of announce a few other things. Um, the Doomsday figures, which they're all using. This looks like a comic book figure, and the hood's weird. I liked it at first, but the more I see it, it's just not for me. They can't do shoulders for some reason. He looks like baby arms attached to, I don't know. It's just weird. This looks like it's the best figure, the Captain America. And once again, he has baby shoulders. He does not have proportionally correct shoulders, but everything else on this figure looks awesome. So, they also announced the wrong price for this and then didn't give any compensation for it. They said it was 11,000 yen and it was actually 18,000 yen when it went up for pre-order. So, Tamashi being naughty. More than the SH Shin is not a big deal. Possibly having a better tail than Modern Hiya. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I mean, but like Shin's tail is easy to engineer though. Like, and because they're not focusing on the accuracy, they can make the tail do whatever it wants. Which, once again, not a complaint from this guy. It's actually a bad thing because now I want it, and I'm pretty sure it's sold out everywhere. If I go and if I look up Super 7 Ultimates, I'm pretty sure it's sold out. Pretty sure. Oh, hey, it's back up. Comes out in November, so I can't get it. Oops. So I can't get it, but look at how much better. Oh, man. It's not even the same tail anymore. Whatever. I like how like exaggerated it looks. It's fine. Um you just won't see me displaying it with this head. That's basically what I'm gonna say is you probably won't see me with this head. We'll see. $100 in November is kind of rough. Because by November, um, Biolante, Ava Goji, G Awakening, and Tokyo SOS Godzilla need to be paid for. So we'll see. If I get ahead of my pre-orders, which right now I'm not. In fact, I'm very scared for 75 in a few weeks. We really thought he was a statue. Nah, they just always do that. Make Marvel vs. Capcom and Hulk. That would be fun. Not 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 the line I'm going to collect, especially considering some of the issues some of these figures have had. But oh, damn little fly. Is this where they show? There we are. So yeah, here's the Trunks and Vegeta that we've seen for 2 years. They have updated Trunks a little bit. I think the face and the heads look a little bit better, although we already know that he's going to have two stern faces, one looking forward and one looking to the sides. So yeah, but he's got the pockets, which I'm very curious to see how this works. I wonder if this is just going to be a hand that can slide in between this joint. Um, some of these new 3.0s, the hips have enough to where you can kind of angle it out because these are just ball joint connections, but we'll see. And then we finally see this Vegeta, which has been teased for literally like 2 or 3 years. But with the 3.0 body, with no upgrades by the looks of it, and a brand new head sculpt. This, to me, I don't know, that's probably... Oh, wait, never mind, no. That's just the Vegeta head painted. But the face sculpts, excuse me, the hair sculpt's the same, but the face sculpts are different. So, I like how that base face looks. But once again, this is the same angle that the Super Saiyan has. So it's like it's a better face, but it's the same thing, and that's disappointing. There was some surprises announced this weekend. This Gohan is getting yet another reissue, even though this figure hasn't even come out yet in Japan. There's this reissue, and then there's the one that comes out in September next month, I believe, or this month. Once again, pushing that Perfect Cell is probably the next release. And then we had two surprises. Ultimate Gohan. Oh, I didn't even grab the photos for the other Ultimate Gohan. Oh, whoopsies. We'll get that. In Broly. Dragon Ball Super Broly. So Super Saiyan, he has the Hikari Rage head, the base head, and the Super Saiyan head. This is finally getting a reissue. Very excited. Yeah. And then this Gohan, and there's a reason why this Gohan got reissued. Okay. Ultimate Gohan, there it is. Yeah. This is why. A brand new, secretly leaked from somewhere. We don't have full confirmation outside of these photos, but there is a brand new USA Target fucking exclusive battle scarred Gohan. So he has the beast body, not the 1.0, not this mold, the beast body. And then he has the windswept hair and the new faces, which the new faces are this face looking to the side. Does this one show it? No, there's a teeth gritted face that's looking the opposite way. And then there's the yelling face, which is looking forward, and then it comes with the same hands. So it's the same figure necessarily. It's just the Beast Gohan body. With the windswept hair that's only available with I believe it's Orange Piccolo. Orange Piccolo is the one. So if you guys are in like the West Coast, like California and stuff, I would be looking to see. This will probably start arriving in hand for you guys out on the coast first. We'll see if we get it. I wish these were the better photos. I kind of annoyed that these aren't the better ones. Reddit's typically a little scary to go on. Yeah, you can see it here. It's got the battle damage. It looks good. It looks really good. I literally screamed when I saw this. I screamed. So excited for this. Yeah, we're gonna get to it. Oh, not Discord. Just gonna close that. Oh, really thought he was a statue. I just really still want the Spider-Man. I think the Spider-Man's worth it. I do think so. The Spider-Man's tempting me, but I'm not attached to that look. If I'm gonna get a Spider-Man, I really want it to be Toby, but like I wouldn't mind the brand new day figure. Just can't be the Figure Arts one because it doesn't have texture on the suit, and he very clearly has texture. The final swing version of this figure from the last movie, No Way Home, has the texture, so I might see if that one's still readily available. We'll see. I don't know. I'm very, very confused. Also, I'm sorry that the thumbnail is the Shin blank. I didn't actually get it ready in time to be able to get it ready for the stream because I kind of diddly daddled. So, okay. So, remember a few months ago when I said I was going to keep my trap shut about things that I wasn't planning on buying because I didn't want to be that person? I have some really huge concerns about this and this business model that Hiya is seemingly triple, quadrupling down on. I do not care that this thing is probably the best bang for your buck articulated Godzilla figure, period. $100 for all of this at 8 inches, 100% worth. But why wasn't half of these accessories included with the base version that was announced 2 fucking years ago that still is not out yet? That is ridiculous. Ridiculous. And it does actually make me mad. If Tamashi did something like this, y'all would be fucking pissed. I would actually say that I would think the Monster Arts line would die. I think the uprooting and the pissed offness would be enough to put that line in danger. But when Hiya does it, it's okay. So I'm really happy this is a cool figure, but it completely invalidates the first release. There's no reason to buy the first one. There's zero reason unless you want a Super Mechagodzilla and a non Super 93 next to each other. And even still, I would say maybe you could just buy this one because why not just have all the accessories? Yeah. Oh, did they confirm that he comes with a stand too? Holy shit. God damn, that's even better. Yeah, 95 bucks. Now, no one ever talks about the shipping cost on these things. These things are like 40 bucks if you get it from Kowalski's, right? 30, 40 bucks. I think I was looking at trying to get Monster X imported and it was like $115, $120 for me after shipping. Yes, in the description. Okay. So I didn't read that. So that's even extra, right? And that's really good. The theory and idea of this Mechagodzilla is good. But my problem is this should have never happened. They should have just never announced the first one. There's no point. Especially because the first one has those ugly, ugly ass promo photos with that ugly ass sculpt. I'm not mincing my words on that one. It's ugly. It's horrible. I remember in November 2024 when it was first revealed, I was like, I can't believe that they're actually like, this is the figure that you're promoting. I'll try to find it. Like, it just, there's no reason to have the first one. Where are we at right now? Where is this? April 2025. We still, like, look at this. Look at how much I have to go to just to see the solicitation for that. There it is. Like, look at this. Like, this is how this should have never happened. It should not have. At Q3. We're almost a year from the expected release. And by the sounds of it, it sounds like this isn't coming out until Q3 2026, even though before SDCC, it was supposed to be this and O2 Godzilla, which we're going to get to. There's no point. And also here it says that it's 8.5 inches. And on the Super, it says it's only 8 inches. But the centimeters were the same. It was 21 centimeters, right? Yeah. So that's weird. It's not good business. This figure is super good. Oh, hey, honey. How you doing, sweet cheeks? How you doing, baby? I'm just complaining. I'm just complaining. He belongs in a museum. Hiya math. Yeah. No. Like, so once again, I don't need anyone clipping me or anything and getting me canceled out of the Hiya community. This is the definitive, probably best bang for your buck price point for a Godzilla figure out there. But there is no reason this should not have been the first figure. This should have just been one. Or my other recommendation is, even if they were going to delay it this long, what they could have done is split up the accessories a little bit, thrown some of these effect pieces into the first release so there's not so much here. So then they could have brought this one down. Instead of being almost $100, it could have been $90 or $85, and then the other one could have still said 70, because I think 70 just for the Godzilla, for the Mecha Godzilla, and the hands, not even the belly buttons, just the hands is ridiculous. That's expensive, right? When you compare it to this one, this one is $25 more. It has the Garuda, it has a switchable backplate, it has the belly beams, it's got thrusters, it's got the wires, and it's got 5 beam effects. It should have just been the first release, or just split this one in half. Throw the Mega Buster, the I-beams, and the wires with the first release, and then this one could have had the hands, the belly buttons, the thrusters, the Garuda, and then the 2 effect pieces for the Garuda, and then like the belly button beam or something. And then I'd have no complaints, because at least like there is a reason to get both for accessories. This just completely invalidates the first release. If you pre-ordered it and you're locked in, you've paid for it, but you only want one, you're going to have to buy another and then somehow try to sell that first one, which you're not going to be able to do. And that's just dumb. Dumb. Yeah, that's why I never buy the first release. Yeah. And that's, I never buy the first release, ever. Besides like Monster X and Behemoth and stuff that probably will only get one release. At least the Godzillas need to have different spines. Yeah, this isn't even like a battle. And that's my other thing. They're going to release another version of this. They are, and it's going to be the battle damaged one with the Godzilla like radiation marks all over the chest and belly and legs. So he's going to have like the burn marks on it from it getting reflected, and then he's going to have the damaged eye. Where's the damaged eye in this one? Monster Arts was able to do it on the third release. Garuda set with all the beams. Yeah. Or they could have done the Garuda set for $50 with all of the extras. They could have done that too. But they didn't. And they know that the majority of people are going to buy this and just... At least Monster Arts takes 3 or 4 years to re-release their figures. And they wait for them to actually have value on the aftermarket and wait for people to request it, rather than this shit. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, there's no point in pre-ordering Biollante. There's no point in pre-ordering Destroya. There's a Rodan and Garuda set. They could have, you know. They could have, and then they just decided not to. And it's dumb. It's dumb. And I'm not going to be silent about that. I think this is dumb. I think the sales, the type of business they're doing sucks. The figure itself is really cool. Once again, I'm not going to deny that this is killer for what you're getting. Tamashii can't put out a figure at this price point with this much. The Mechagodzilla, their original Mechagodzilla from years ago at retail, wasn't this cheap if you bought the Garuda and Mechagodzilla, the Mechagodzilla and Garuda sets, and then it still didn't have some of these accessories. Like the Tamashii one doesn't have the... Oh, that's for the beam to plug into instead of just setting it on top of or skull. I mean, that is an easier way to do it, but that's kind of just a waste of a belly button. I thought that was like a completely different belly button for some reason. I don't know. They did say in an interview they probably won't make another bio because of how expensive it is. Oh, okay. Okay, so maybe Biollante is safe, which would probably say that Kaiser is also safe to do. It's valid, but I mean, like, that's what Tamashii said too when they ended up, you know. Third time. And also, this thing's super small. You guys see photos of it? The vines themselves are huge, but she's smaller than the monster arts. It almost looks like, to me at least. But we'll see. They refused to put any figures right next to her. Everything had to be a vine length apart. But it looked like GMK was already a head taller than her at a distance. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not impressed with that business decision. And I don't want to make this like a hate on Hiya stream because I have warmed up. This figure looks awesome. I would love the Monster X. I just don't have money for it. That's it. Like that's it. Like I would have bought it. I just don't have the money for it. But also like see they're already doing it here. Battle damage Mecha King Ghidorah. Except just like 91, they're making you buy both Ghidorahs to get both looks, where I can't pick it up right now, but it's right next to me. At least the monster arts, it was, how big of a gap was it? How many years? Almost a decade? 8 years, I think. Huh? Oops. Where's there we go. 2020, was that February 2023? I don't know why it looks like this, but I can still figure it out. Oh, and then it's definitely 8 years then. 8 years. If that's 2023. Come on. Am I losing? There we go. Yeah, 8 years. 8 years to the month. Damn. 8 years to the month. Which, yes, really expensive. Don't get me wrong. It is $300 for the Monster Arts is really expensive. Before the OG release, the day before they showed the 2.0, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're not even going to get into the lights and sound figure. Okay. I'm not even going to get into that because I've heard some conflicting things about that release, and you know what? I'm going to wait until there's a little bit more information before I bite more than I can chew. Sorry. Oh, such a sweet pie. Yeah, they need to stop announcing things so far ahead of time and then changing things or not changing things in some cases. Yeah, we're going to talk about this too briefly. I feel like the back half of the stream is already like half everything else and then half Hiya. And I don't want to do that. We've got way more to talk about. Once again, I'm not hating on Hiya because I hate Hiya. I'm criticizing Hiya on bad business decisions and things that if I was an active collector of Hiya, I'd be speaking out against. And if Monster Arts did some of this shit, I'd be talking about it too. It's ridiculous. Oh, two. After everyone complained that they didn't want it to just be the 99 figure, what did they do? They released the 99 figure with new dorsal plates and a new head and neck, and that's basically it. I saw someone saying that the chest is resculpted. But if that's the case, why is it still so thick? It just looks off. Like, look at that. Look at that. You can't tell me this is a good thing. Now, hopefully, they're just floating pieces, so you'll be able to fix that. But, like, that blue wash is nice. I like that. That's really pretty. Like, even the head. If Monster Arts releases a head that looks like this, and people throw a fit and bitch tantrum, and then Hiya releases it and it's fine. But if they had to sacrifice one, I'm glad it's Kiryu. No, I don't know. This is... like, look at that. And this, I saw some people defending this, saying that's what the suits look like. No, they don't. Here's the suits on display in 2020. in Japan. Here's all the Millennium suits lined up. They're not even the same height. The shoulders are more angled down, where this one has more puffier shoulders. The legs are different. The way the legs sit on the suit and on the body is different. The way the tail sits on the body is different. They're completely different. This is way more skinnier and leaner than this. And that's because our suit actor complained about this suit. Kitamura didn't like this suit. It was too chunky. He couldn't move. So they slimmed it down for him, and then it obviously wasn't enough. And then we got what Final Wars is, right? Like, if people are going to bring up liking Hiya exclusively because they're more accurate, then collectors need to be honest and be like, this isn't an accurate release, which, as we all know on this channel, accuracy doesn't matter because Monster Arts doesn't focus on accuracy. I don't even have a problem with this figure looking like this. Like, I personally don't mind it. My problem is people are defending it when, if Monster Arts did this, there'd be crucifixion. It's just, that's not O2. It's just not. I don't know what that photo is. You know, so I am glad that there is a more inexpensive, still really excellent version of O2 coming out, but I just don't want to hear the argument that this is more accurate. Like, this is less accurate than the Monster Arts, and the Monster Arts is widely inaccurate. It's got a giraffe neck. The head isn't correct. Some of the proportions aren't correct, but it's slimmer. You know, that's my thing. My thing is, it's not that I'm mad about the Hiya figures like doing a Monster Arts. It's just I don't want people not to like my post because I post just because it's Monster Arts, and then Hiya goes and does the same thing and everyone's just slurping. Oh, hey Matt, how's it going, buddy? All this is to say, though, once again, I don't think that O2 figure is bad if it has the exact same articulation as the 99 figure, which it does because it's the same figure basically. It's still a really good articulating O2, and it is going to do the job for most people. Just expect it not to look correct when you get your Kiryus in hand, unless the Kiryu is also going to be bulked up. Which case, if they bulk up Kiryu, you know, okay. He can look up, though. Can he not? He can't look up? Oh. Oh. Then the Monster Arts 8. Not 8. Not even close to 8. What, the Monster Arts 6 years ago? 7 years ago? Oh, shit, maybe it is 8. Yeah, 2018, 2017. Yeah, so the Monster Arts has better engineering and articulation. The Kiryu look thin. Yeah. Yeah. So, and you know, once again, not to rag on Hiya or Hiya collectors. I respect y'all. Trust me, there's some Hiya figures that if finances weren't so engrossly tight, I probably would, you know, if I would have went to G-Fest, I probably wouldn't have bought Monster Arts. I would have been coming home with a few Hiya figures. You know, because now 2000 and the Heat Ray 2000 or 99 are basically impossible to get. Ghidorah 91, the base one, is really hard to get. So, you know, wouldn't mind if they give him a thigh upgrade as well. Yeah, the thighs also need to be fixed on Kiryu and on both Kiryu Goji and Kiryu itself. So, but all this is to say, I hope Hiya can learn from these mistakes and take constructive criticism from Hiya collectors and none, or you know, none like me. And I hope they move forward and do something better. Now, obviously, if they improve the Heat Ray version, it's going to be a little annoying because then they're probably going to release a 2.0 of that Godzilla within, you know, 3 or 4 years, and then the first one's completely a waste. But hey, you know, I guess because they listen. I don't know. My thing I want them to do better and I want them to improve because them doing good means that Tamashi has to continue doing good and do better. And it's only best for everybody. Competition is good. I don't want one to be over the rest. I'm not buying Kiryu until he gets his red eyes. Release number 2. Release number 2. So that's all I'm going to say about Hiya because I feel like I went on, I got a little bit more aggressive about it than I intended. um, so I apologize post-mortemly. But I'm also not going to hide my feelings about a company that is doing shrewd things and is basically in a way kind of stealing money from you guys. And also I'm kind of criticizing the collectors that can't be patient, who are on budgets, who follow their budgets, who can't wait for a second version when Hiya's been doing this since day one with their Godzilla license at least. So I mean that was the first thing they did. They released Godzilla 21, got a bunch of critiques, and then what did they do? They released a second one with better articulation and design. Of course, that was months after the first one had sold out and got really expensive. That first Hiya got up to like $300 before they announced that other one. A Shrunken Down 89. They probably will. Remember with the Heisei films, Heisei Godzilla in the first 3 Heisei films is shorter, or 2.5 technically. It's after Godzilla gets revived and becomes the Shinjuku suit at the end of 91, um, is when he becomes 100 meters. He's actually, I believe he's only 80 meters in 84 and 89. So if they do make an 89 and it is smaller than their Hokkaido 91, that works. That fits. That tracks. You know, Monster Arts did do that. The 89 is only ever so slightly smaller than the 91, but and 200 times stronger. Yes. Yeah, and that brings up a great thing about Hiya that I forgot to bring up the chat again on the screen. God damn it. The Matt brings up a good thing. Hiya did announce something pretty exciting at SDCC. In fact, Hiya, I think, had one of the more hype announcements. I don't think they themselves posted a photo of it. No, they did not. They didn't post. Well, maybe it's here. Let's see. They announced a board with upcoming licensing of figure. Oh yeah. See, here's the shot of GMK. She's a little bit taller than I remember her being, but that's also the angle. So still too small. She'd be much larger. The vines are great though. I mean, size-wise, at least. They announced that they got the Ultraman Ultra Kaiju license, just the Ultra Kaiju, and that is very exciting. And you will be seeing me buy those Ultraman Kaiju Hiya figures. 1,050%. I will be buying those. So, not to replace my figure arts display, but to expand upon this because they've been kind of fucking slacking on the Kaiju and Seijin releases. A lot of reissues, which is good, but like, where's Bemular? Where's Telesodon? Where's Dada? Oh, not Dada. Jamila. Where's, you know, some of these main 66 kaiju? And then why aren't the new shows at least getting one antagonist when we get half of the forms of the Ultraman and we get the ally kaiju? And then we don't get a villain typically unless it's something that goes with like King of Mons, where it was like, oh, it's a Tiga release, but it's also an arc release. Yes, you know, they did it as both, but more on the Gaia side. Excuse me, not Tiga, Gaia. So I'm very interested because like the articulation on their modern Godzilla figures have been crazy good. Like Monster X, for the most part, art engineering wise, is really nice. So I'm very interested to see what they could do with like a Ultra Galaxy Gamora or EX Gamora, EX Red King, EX this, EX that, you know? Um, very curious. Very curious. So I do agree with Matt. Like, to put some positive note to show that I'm not just hating on Hiya, which even I wasn't hating on Hiya, I was very aggressively criticizing. Um, I'm excited for the Ultra license, the Ultra Kaiju license. I have to make sure it's Ultra Kaiju. They cannot do the Ultramen at this point, but they can do the Kaiju. So, and that's what's more exciting to me because Blockies has started and they've already got some things that Figure Arts hasn't done yet. Things that Figure Arts probably can't do, like the end villain of Tiga. I don't see them doing that Tamashi wise. I don't, because they still haven't released Tyrant. Five King is still kind of like up in the air, and Melba, I think, is almost all but confirmed at this point since we've seen Melba 3 times. But like we've seen Grieza a few times, and Grieza's still not out. So, and there's other Tyrant was seen twice, I think, 2 events, and now it's gone. So, yeah, yeah. Sorry, Larissa's had a long day at work, so very happy to send her a message. Make sure she's doing okay. She had her last break. That was kind of obnoxious. I'm sorry. Douche chills right there with that giggle. Once again, a reminder for any new viewers: this is a Slipknot hat. Slipknot, not what you think it is. Not what you might think it is. Which you kind of know it's not that because that cap and all the cap variants are baseball caps, not trucker hats. I think this is a trucker hat, or this is a baseball cap and the other one's a trucker hat. I don't know. You like bald, bald. So, yeah. um. So one thing. Ooh, I keep closing Instagram even though I need Instagram. So although I was dead on YouTube, I was not dead on Instagram. And the last 9 days, 9 days, including this one. I just have this one pinned to the top because I'm an asshole. The last 9 days, I've posted Shin Godzilla only since the anniversary. Actually, technically, the anniversary in Japan time. Thanks, Matt. She's doing good. She just works work is shit. You know, your job can suck sometimes. Or I don't want to say sometimes, like it doesn't suck like a lot of the time, but you know. Um, I've been posting 9 days straight. Well, 9 Shin Godzilla days straight. I've actually posted for. This is the 14th day. This is 2 weeks straight now that I've posted content. Since here, or excuse me, since here, here, one of these two, one of these posts. I've posted basically for 2 weeks straight on Instagram, and that's probably a train we're gonna keep going with tomorrow. I'm very proud of that, and I am disappointed I wasn't able. Well, it's not like I wasn't able to stream. I chose not to stream on Shin's anniversary. I did have a really huge, big anniversary stream planned. And when things kind of in my personal life started to fall apart a little bit, which we have kind of talked about, last month, so I'm not going to reiterate. It's not a pity thing. Half of it's my own fault and consequence. We just got to be adults about it. I'm I'm happy with what I was able to do, and I'm happy that I was able to turn it into a photography moment. I worked really hard on all these photos. These are exceptionally better than my typical average post, even when I'm going for a really big thumbnail shot in these sets. Like there's a photo, I typically do one that's extra spicy in the set, and then the rest aren't like crazy. Ooh, gross. I don't want to like my own post. That's weird. It's like this one. Um, these are pretty basic, and then you have this one. This one's extra oomph. Instead of doing a bunch of photos in each set, this only has 6 likes. That hurts. um, that's what I feared, but it's fine. Whatever. I don't need the validation of likes. I'm proud that I posted it and the photo looks fucking good. Um, I just went and did one really extra special shot. So all of these are edited. These aren't just raw photos. Well, everything besides Frozen got 2 because the tail needed to be done. And this isn't even like the best shot of the tail either. right? This was a recommendation from Matt and Adam. They both were like, hey, for Frozen, if the tail's not going to be the main thing, you should probably do 2 photos with the tail. And I didn't do, the typical just have the tail up and looking at it. I wanted to do something actiony, and Adam had the great idea of have Shin in the background, have him very, you know, out, and then take it like this. I don't think this is the intended angle, but I'm really happy with it. And yeah. So all these photos have a little extra to them beside, well, actually, technically the only 2 that don't have any edits is the second and third form. And that's only because we have the Shin set coming out at the end of this month in 20 days. 20 days. 20 days for the Shin set with the unidentified object tail. Very excited for that. Sending on. Looking forward to the new Heavy Arms synthetic ham. Yeah, dude, that Kiryu. So excited. I'm probably going to end up accidentally with 2, and I can't explain why I might end up with 2 yet. So there, I might. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to tease anything. I'm just going to say I might end up with 2. On purpose. On purpose. The Shin review was a pleasant surprise. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Thank you. It definitely was a last minute thing. It definitely was just kind of thrown together the day of at 7 o'clock at night. But I hadn't made a video on it yet, and I still haven't shipped out my other colorway, and I really wanted to make sure I did post something more than just the short. We did do the 10 years of Shin Godzilla collection video. I forgot to show off my books. I got all my prints out, and I forgot to show off my Shin Godzilla books, which I don't have many, but I do have a few. I have the Art of Shin Godzilla book. I have the Toho Effects volume. I believe it's like number 2 or 3, whatever it is in the line. I believe it's 2. I believe it was Burning Godzilla and Shin were the first 2. But you see what I'm saying? So like, I forgot to show those off. But besides that, I showed off everything Shin. I think I had the physical media there too for the movies. So it was good. I think, there wasn't a big stream. And I kind of realized, like, even the day of, I was talking to Matt and Adam about it, that like, I don't have to do these big event things. Like I don't have to. I can celebrate the anniversary and enjoy it without making it like a big, like, content influencer thing, So I'm glad that a lot of people seem to really enjoy this video. The 205 views on a Safubi video. Not normal on a channel that's not doing Safubi anymore. I really appreciate that. So I just want to thank anyone who took time and watched that video. Thank you. And if you didn't, that's a-okay. If Safubi's not your thing, or Shin Godzilla's not your thing, all to you, man, or lady, or them, they, everything in between and out of bounds. Everything, everyone. We know we support and love everyone here. Sorry, making sure Larissa didn't. What do you think is the best monster art Shin? I actually can't reveal that because once I get the maquette and the original 4th form, there's going to be a comparison video and a tier list of the releases. I'm going to go really in deep with the 4th forms, which has been done to hell already. Articulation Series did it in his stream. He didn't compare all of them, but he compared most of them to the movie graphic. And I want to compare all of them all at the same time. All 8. Once again, count that 8 if we're not counting the reissues as separate releases. 8 Shin Godzillas. We need an entire Monster Arts tier list. Once I own them all, I'll give you a tier list. I refuse to do a tier list on figures that I don't currently own anymore. As you guys could go back through the channel, I used to have an even larger Monster Arts collection up until 2023 when I started selling everything like a fucking idiot. Yeah. I mean, I edited reviews. I remember when this was a big thing. This is when I had my big hair, or my pink hair. My comb over and my pink hair. I used to have a huge Monster Arts collection. Huge. About 50, 60 pieces in it. And they're there. You can see them right there. I used to have a ton. I used to have a lot. A lot. Um, a lot of ones that I don't own anymore. That's the thing too. It's not like I've gone back and rebought a lot of these. I don't have a lot of these. Some of them I do reissue, but like you can see Ultima right there. I don't have Ultima anymore. Finally, just got Junior. Horrible. I love the blue, but man, do I. Whew. Like, there's the first Mecha Godzilla Ultima. Yeah, guys. I used to have a lot of monster arts. A lot of different ones. Biolante, first Shin, that's the first release, not the Night Combat one. I used to own the first release, you know. So like I don't want to rate it on figures I used to own because I'm definitely going to have different opinions on some of those last figures than I do now, you know. Like I'm way more mature as a collector. Um and I think that does drastically change some of my ideas. Now, I am curious to go back and see if the opposite has happened, where there's going to be some releases that I'm going to be even more sick of, like Monster X. I'm probably not going to react very well when I rebuy Monster X. I'm not going to lie. It's probably not going to be a fun time for me, but we'll see. You know, never know. Monster X minus X. I'm not gonna lie, Shin and Maquette are making me want to spend $350. If you can find the Frozen for $350, holy shit! I Frozen was so cheap, bottom of the barrel, and then the second it sold out, just boom, skyrocketed. And I'm so very thankful and grateful that Thirsty Thursday Toys, my friend Adam, sold me his. He decided he didn't need it anymore, and I was able to purchase it off of him for a really good deal too. I Very good. So, you know, all thanks to him that I have that figure. If he didn't sell it, I wouldn't have one. I wouldn't have one. We need an entire month. Yeah, yeah. We'll once I get everything back in a few years, we'll do one. We're gonna stick to and continue the yearly tier. We're gonna make yearly tier lists. Like this year, I'm already stressing. I'm so stressed. This year is hot, and we have one of the hottest releases dropping in 24 days. Godzilla 75, guys, it's coming. That's going to be a big make it or break it moment, I think. I'm not worried. I'm a little worried. But I'm worried about every release. Every brand that releases something. Every new movie monster series figure, every X Plus, everything. I worry about it. So it's okay. It's okay to worry. You're spending your hard earned 24 days. 24. The 29th is when 75 Godzilla and Movie Graphic 2014 drop is on the 29th. So the Shin set is that week. Web shops don't get a specific date. We just know it's probably going to be the 24th to the 28th. So that's it. Yeah. That's why I said only 20 days for the Shin set. They typically release Monday night or Tuesday nights for us. So in Japan, it's typically Tuesday or Wednesdays is when people get their emails. They'll get their emails here or here that they shipped, and then we'll see it. Sometimes people get them early and we'll see them here, or someone will steal one from a factory in China. Well, maybe not steal. They might just, you know, maybe they're just able to pick it up early. I don't know. I don't want to say that they're stealing, because that's definitely not the case with a lot of the Chinese reviewers. They just get them early because that's where the factory is, right? So, but sometimes product is stolen early. We have seen that happen, but it is very uncommon. Tamashi, after the whole 64 Ghidorah thing, if that story is true, you know, a lot more tight cased with their factories. So, but you know, if I went over to a Tamashi factory in China or Vietnam, either one, and if I had a chance to be able to pick up a product early before release and bring it home with me, I would too. So I'll admit my sin or my theoretical sin. I probably would be one of those guys. You'd be seeing 75 right now. I'll go over. I'll fly. because I have a passport. Goodness. But yeah, so this month we'll kind of pivot there. 3 releases coming this month. 2014 Movie Graphic Plus is finally getting released on the 29th. Godzilla 1975 is also on the 29th. I kind of wish it would have been one week and one the other, but they just decided to release both the same week. So that's where we're at. And then the Shin set will come out probably before. So just looking ahead of reviews, the likelihood I would put you in handcuffs myself. Yeah, and that's valid. If I'm stealing a product from a factory, even though I paid for one, I should be handcuffed. Absolutely. If I get caught, 100%. 100%. 100%. 180%. 150. 200%. Okay. But I'll probably likelihood of me getting any of them the first week is, well, impossible for the 2 general releases. I would say it's probably likely you'll be seeing the Shin set unboxing and review the first week of September. And then hopefully by the start of the second week, 75 and 2014 will be on my desk. Now, once again, I have to remind everyone, I was not able to get 75 from Hobby Yankee. It's actually Hobby Link Japan. Hobby Link Japan, because their process is different, takes a little bit more time. So the likelihood that it'll probably be the Shin set first, 2014, and then 75 is likely. So I wouldn't even be surprised if I don't get 75 until like 2 weeks out from release, which is really stupid. But processes take time, and shipping things right now is expensive, and also just oil isn't available and they're not doing as many shipments, so things aren't getting shipped out as fast. Do you have any tips for photography? Photograph what you like, how you want. Don't limit yourself. Try things. Do weird things. Mess with your lighting, mess with your posing, mess with your angles. The other thing I would recommend is you can do this on a camera or you can do it on your phone. Set up the I'm gonna cover that up. Not that it's a private photo, but do you guys see I've got the grid? Always recommend doing the grid. Having the grid up on your camera. I know it's kind of visually annoying. It won't obviously be in your photographs. We can go back to my Instagram. Clearly, you don't see the grid there, but it helps you angle things and keep things in, because you always want to keep it in the center column, or on the lines of the sides is what your main focus. So like even some of these photos, you see me messing with my angles a little bit. So like this is more center column. This is more center column. This ends up kind of being the line between columns right here. Here it's kind of the whole photo, which I'm kind of impressed that Shin's so in focus. I actually took this photo like weeks ago. I think I've had this photo in my camera roll since like the second week of July, I think, or third week, somewhere in here. I took that photo. So this one's been waiting. Here, like I do a different angle with Ortho Shin. I'm so glad music isn't playing on desktop. Here, more the line. This one is this sideline. Like when you put the grid up, if you put an overlay of the grid, you'll see my photos. Here it's this line again. It's not the center column, it's the line. Just things, just easy things. Just try things. All different lighting and editing. And don't be afraid to try photography if you don't have like a good camera or a good phone. You don't need a good phone or a good camera. You don't. You just need to know what you're doing. That's why, like, for me, I don't know what I'm doing sometimes, so my camera ends up being my crutch, because I have a 17 Pro Max, an iPhone 17 Pro Max. I'm not getting the 18 Pro Max this year. I probably won't get another iPhone until the 20. if they continue the numbering system, unless they all like just become AI rot, then I won't. So, and then if like if you have an iPhone or a Samsung, like they all have, like if you go into your photos, they all have that editing section. Obviously, try to stay away from the AI ones. But like, here's a photo that's not even out yet. Okay, a Mecha King Ghidorah, because I've already kind of worked on this set. Like, I have all these settings that I can mess with that changes how the photo looks. Just go in and play with it. Just go in and play. That's all you got to do. Just have fun with it. Doesn't have to be serious. Even if you want to take it more seriously and do it professionally, just lay back and enjoy. Sometimes the best photos, the best looking photos, aren't something you spend 20, 30 minutes on setting up like some of these. Like one of my personal, honest to God favorite photos from this year is this one. And also these two. And there's almost no thought that went into these two. Almost no thought. I just was playing with the poster color and I just did some stuff. And I think these photos look really good. In fact, I would say that this post on my page is underrated because, well, besides how blurry 54's face is, that's probably the only downside of this one, is that he's blurry right there. Actually, yeah, both of them, they're kind of blurry in the face. Why are they blurry in the face? Huh. See, well, okay, now I can see why they're maybe not as appreciated. But like this one, this is just black and white filter from my iPhone. That's it. Even though 54 and minus, this is the minus color minus one. I had to make everything else black and white. And I think it turned out really good. Really good. Right? Just don't be afraid to experiment and do weird things. That's what all of this has been. Like the Shin stuff has all been this. These two are two raw photos. Here's one to make it look like it's darker than it actually was. This one is a different style of edit that kind of continues on with this one, although you get to see the detail on the frozen sculpt way better than the translucent sculpt. Like this figure just pops, and the same thing with the maquette. They just pop. I cannot wait to get the maquette Shin and do some insane photography. You thought the 10th anniversary was crazy for these photos. Wait until next year for the 11th. This is probably something I'm going to do every year, which is kind of why I left it at one photo mostly per figure, because if I'm going to do this more, I don't have to drop 8 photos. I can just drop one and call it good. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people might not like it, but that's okay. And that's okay. Also, that's the other thing, and this is something I struggle with. When you post, if you're posting it, or even if you're not posting it, it's okay to have, like, yeah, obviously it's nice to have like 100 some likes on some of these. It's okay to have 19 likes. This ortho didn't do well. This photo did better than this one, and I'm still kind of surprised on that. But hey, I'm not gonna, one of the most underrated Monster Arts releases of all time right here. Just don't count the likes, just count the amount you do, whether it's counting how many photos you take, or if you are posting them on Instagram, kind of like I am, like my thing is like these photos look really good and I'm proud of them. But like I said, I've been posting for almost 2 weeks straight. Yeah, 2 weeks straight from here. Oh, from here. Damn. Yeah, from here. I've been posting for 2 weeks straight since the 22nd. 2 weeks to the day. I'm more proud of posting 2 weeks straight than I am of, well, I don't necessarily would say that I'm more, well, it's probably even, like this photo. Not to toot my own horn, but I love this photo. And this one got the reactions from, I would say this legitimately is probably one of my best photos. And it's only got 50 it's got 50 likes compared to 134, 124. And there's only lights on this. I'm not doing any editing with that photo. 101 on this. I'm glad Jet Jaguar got some love on this one. 101 on this post. Feeling good. Jet Jaguar needed it. I was way way too tough on this figure when this came out. Way too, well, after it came out. Once the initial hype of the figure coming out wore off, I was so negative on this release. There's no reason for it. Is it perfect? No. Does it have some kind of glaring issues? Absolutely. But once it's posed up, this thing looks awesome. It looks so good. And the fun thing is, with this set in particular, I didn't post the final part. I actually could have been posting for, if I would have posted them on time, I would have been well over 2 weeks. Yeah, including this one. So it just goes to show photography can be as fun as you let it be. And yeah, the likes and algorithms on YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, all of it just sucks. You have to remember that even if you're not actually trying to compete with other people, you are, by posting, competing with other people for attention. That sounds negative, but like we are posting this for a little bit of recognition, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But when I post this, like I'm going, competing against the other toy photographers. Of course, I never would want to actually make it a competition. One, because my photos aren't better than most people's out there. Even other beginners and intermediate people are probably a little bit more ahead of me. And that's because they actually will go and buy props and buildings and stuff rather than being like, I want more buildings, I want foliage, I want this, I want that. And then instead of buying those stuff, I just go and buy another toy. Or like lights. I've been saying I'm going to be buying photography lights, like small ones, for years, for 2 or 3 years now. And I haven't yet because I keep just buying toys instead. You see? So just have fun with it. Don't take it seriously. People are going to criticize your work. They're going to critique your work one way or the other. So you might as well just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Nothing wrong with it. Publicly, privately, whatever you would like to do. I would just say enjoy it. Okay. I can't believe 24 got delayed. By far the most hype. But GMK. 2014 got delayed, so I did see, I couldn't confirm it anywhere. I did see someone mention something about the box was wrong, and they had to actually go and rerun the boxes. Something was incorrectly printed on the box, supposedly. Once again, I don't know if that's true or not, because although a few did make it to Mexico and got sold, no one's given really high HD photos of the box or even the figure. There's some photos out there, but they're not the most well lit. At least for the ones that I saw. Maybe there has been more and people just aren't posting it because now we have it confirmed for release date, but I could be wrong. I could be talking out my butt. So I bought a camera. I didn't know I'd also have to buy a card for it. Yeah, if you buy a camera, you need a memory card for it. So for the Shin list, I think I will have to drop a nuclear weapon. I will have to drop nuclear cropped out of the evolution set photos because the S tier by himself. Wait, for the Shin tier list, I think I will have to drop in nuclear weapons if Kamada-kun isn't cropped out of the evolution set photos. I think Kamada looks fine. Will it be better looking than this one? Probably, because it's just more the movie colors. I think like the third form looks way better with the new colors. It's not even close. Still for me. I love how dark it is. Gross. I love getting spam on my Snapchat that I don't even use. There's a set I can't wait. The maquette for the second and third form as well. Yeah. Well, with the Shin set, with the Shin tier list, the second and third form also won't be in the discussion. It'll only be the fourth form. And I'm not going to, well, okay. That was almost a lie. There will be a video going over the second and third form sets, but I have to get the maquette versions. And if anyone knows about the maquette versions, the second and third form are way harder to find. Not even more expensive. They're just way harder to find over over the fourth form maquette. You can still kind of find the maquette online. The second and third form, gone, typically. So I was the original plan, if the last few months didn't take a nosedive for finances, the original plan was for me to buy the maquette set of second and third and the fourth form and the first release fourth form from Mandarake and have them here by the anniversary. That was my first. You guys want some lore? Do you want to? Okay, we talked about. We can continue talking about Shin because I do want to spend some more time before I move on to the gigantic elephant in the room. That is, you know, uh, actually gonna be arriving this month. Things are looking up. I just have to wait for that invoice bill to get in, and then I need to make some money for it. Um, the original idea needs to be alone. Oh, I would never speak ill. Okay, I was gonna say like I really do think this looks good, and I think the tail looks good as well, and I love the look of this because like the teeth aren't messed up on this copy. Or excuse me, the teeth are messed up on this copy, but we already saw an in hand and the teeth weren't messed up, so on display. Because these are just recolors. So these are typically, the display ones are typically the factory samples. So now obviously they're a little bit more taken care of paint-wise, so it's not always the best to go off of that, but looking at the sculpt itself, it's a good indicator, not a guarantee though. Yeah, look at this. This just looks better. And the red, why didn't they fix it? I wish they would have fixed the throat, and we know they haven't fixed the throat, and the throat sucks. Like this doesn't look good. the throat thing, but besides that, everything looks fine. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so this will be its own comparison video of the form sets, and then but yeah, the plan was for the anniversary. The first plan before the Gigantics were announced was to get the Shin releases for Monster Arts I didn't have, and that was going to be the anniversary video. Was the comparison, and didn't get to. I need to catch up with chat first. Let me put that on pause. Put a pin on that. I see Matt's message 2 times. I haven't even responded yet. And Shark, you still no that one synth. That's a good one. Thank you. I started caring less about likes and the algorithm. Yeah, yeah. And then dude, same desperately lights for my reviews, but toys. Yeah, the toys always seem to be taking the budget. So I'm very glad and proud to be able to be like, besides a few side things on pre-order, moving forward, I'm probably not going to be pre-ordering anything besides Monster Arts. Even Dragon Ball figures, I'm going to wait for them to release because, there's criticisms and stuff with Monster Arts and the Monster Arts team. And I could make a list of it. People would be surprised with how many problems I have with Monster Arts because they don't watch the reviews all the way and don't listen to me actually complain about things sometimes. But the Dragon Ball line, I've got some big thing. Well, if you guys were at the beginning of stream like Shark was, you guys would have heard me bitch about the Dragon Ball line. So, the figure arts Dragon Ball line, and I've got so many things I could say about that line because that line's even older than the Monster Arts line. Okay, that started in 2009. The Dragon Ball line is when it started with Piccolo, and they just keep making the same fucking mistakes. Almost 20 years into the line, 20 years into the line, the Dragon Ball line and team keep making the same fucking mistakes. It's inexcusable. So I'm not gonna be buying a lot of those ahead of time. So like, I really wanted the new Raccoon and I wasn't able to pre-order it. That's a figure, and like the Frieza, those are figures I'm pre-ordering because they're web shops. The Super Saiyan Goku that fight a Warrior of Rage, which is immensely expensive on the aftermarket now. Like I'm screwed. I'm gonna have to spend like $140 on one, and I might get one where the neck pegs breaks within an instant. Even in Japan, it's really fucking expensive. I'm screwed there. But like the general releases, so like the base Goku, the God Goku, the red God Goku, and the blue Goku, I'm not buying those three until BBTS has all three in stock. Until they have all three in stock and I can just bundle them together, I'm not touching them. So, And I think they don't even have God Goku in stock yet, and they were supposed to have it last month. And then I think they said they were supposed to be getting Blue Goku this month. And I heard a rumor that probably is not going to be the case. It probably will be well into September before Blue Goku. So hopefully they have enough base Gokus to last. And the thing that's going to make me mad is I waited all this time for these Gokus, and two of the releases have very known, even worse QC than the Super Saiyan Goku. I'm told the base Goku, like, you either get a really good copy or you get one that falls apart, and it's the same thing with the Blue Goku. So, God Goku, for some reason, has no issues. Thankfully, I think that's the best of the three that I don't have. Um, and then the Super Saiyan Warrior Rage Goku, I'm just gonna have to buy aftermarket. Probably at the beginning of next year for a undisclosed reason until I am confirmed set for that. So yeah, Kamada Kun is a god amongst the Zillas. Agreed. I love Kamada Kun. The more I watch Shin, the more I have appreciation for the second and the third form. I love all of them, and I get that the tail technically isn't advertised as the first form because there's some weird licensing thing about saying Shin Godzilla first form because it's technically not in the movie, or it's not fully seen in the movie, so they're not going to label this first form. But this is the first form, so um, even though it's just a tail, I really like it. It's ominous, and I actually do really like that it's way larger than the second form. It's not, or the second and third form. That's not accurate to the movie, but I think this makes sense that it's a giant aquatic creature that then slims down, then grows exponentially, unexpectedly, and then regresses to an even larger aquatic form that then becomes fourth form. Because, like, you scale up the second form to 120 meter class, that tail is in scale. So once again, though, it's not movie wise. If we're being strict to the movie, this is not accurate because it's supposed to basically be Kamada, the second form tail is what it's supposed to be. But I'm okay with this because it's really cool that it's a thing. Okay, the unidentified creature. Whoa, whoa, that was loud. Hopefully that wasn't too loud for you guys. I forgot that if I click on the page, it's going to scream at me. So very excited. I have them paid for, and I have 2014 paid for, so those will ship. I just got to make sure that I am set for 75. Or I have to be prepared to lose my HLJ, which I don't want to do. So yeah. So yeah, triple release month. Next month is really quiet. We just have Odo Island. But that'll be exciting. We should be seeing a retail copy soon. I believe there's one on there is the Odo Island is display at the Tamashii Nation store, but I do believe that is still a resin prototype. Many people didn't take a lot of photos of it, so I'd have to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure that's still the resin prototype. Where 75 has now been displayed twice as a retail copy, and it looks immaculate. So I don't have the photos on hand. And then we get a little bit of a break. So September, nothing in October, and then -0 in November. And then supposedly there might still be something else coming in November. Supposedly. Insider information is saying that there maybe is another November release. My only assumption at this point, unless Tamashii really wants to screw with us, is that it's probably a Tamashii Nations Expo exclusive. It's going to be a colorway of something. I almost want to say they are just going to release the Heat Ray -0. I think we're just going to get the Heat Ray. I think instead of waiting a year like they did with -1, they're just going to drop the Heat Ray variant right away, which is going to suck because if you guys don't remember, the chase to get the Heat Ray -1 was very expensive. And I don't have a budget like that just to drop an additional 200 some bucks in the middle of November. I don't with current plans like that. That would suck. I would get it as fast as I could, but it will financially it will be a burden, especially if I'm not caught up in December. So, and also, I'm gonna get this late because I got this on HLJ. So, I I wasn't able to get it on Genki. It sold out in 2 seconds. I didn't even get the email that it was in stock. It sold out that fast. So, yeah. So, very excited for this. But also, USA release, they did announce that this was supposed to be releasing at the same time. So, it is kind of shitty that they ended up taking that back. And most of the US sellers are saying it'll be December. It's still a quicker turnaround, hopefully, if it's like the beginning of December, but it's still kind of shitty. Monster should make a scaled up Kamada-kun, not gonna lie. I'd easily spend. That would be cool. They could make that in the lights and sound. Well, there wouldn't really be lights with it, but you know, they could do something fun. They probably won't, but they could. And I'd buy it immediately. Yeah. I think if there is something else in November, probably is just going to be an atomic -0. Atomic or a heat ray -0. I think if there is another kaiju in -0, I think it's safe to assume we will not get it until next year. So, for monster rights at least. So I don't think they're gonna be like, oh, here it is next month. Which, by the way, speaking of -0, we now have it confirmed that -0 for the first time in the whole world will be premiering at a New York film festival in full here in New York, or well, not here, but here in the United States. So I would not worry about spoilers. I think that does say what it means for the advertisement for this film, though. I think we will be getting a full trailer. If there's an additional kaiju in the movie, I think we will know within the next month, which fits the -1 timeline. The full trailer didn't come out until September. So maybe they'll move it up a little bit here because we did get an additional teaser here in July. But we'll see with additional footage. -1 did not get that 3 years ago. So I think we'll kind of know what is going on within the next 30 days. If not 30 days by the film fest, and I believe it was the end of September, so we'll know by then. So but I do think if there's another kaiju, or if there's like another form of Godzilla, whatever it is, if there's another different entity to just this -0, we probably won't get it till next year. So yeah, and we should be getting supernova reveals pretty close, pretty soon as well. We should be seeing supernova stuff probably in November. Well, probably not till December actually, because we won't see any advertisement for it until after -0's in theaters. So maybe we won't see anything till December or January for figures. For Monster Art specifically. We know the Playmates toys will be revealed and available for purchase and on sale in January of 2027. So probably going to see a certain big bad that's all but confirmed still, so I won't say it out loud, but we all know who it is. Unless you've completely just ignored Supernova, which is valid. That will probably be like a prototype reveal kind of into next year. I have a feeling because of who it is, they're hopefully not gonna wait that long, which they did that with Mechagodzilla. It was an incredibly long time for Mechagodzilla for Monster Arts, right? Yeah, these released when around the movie, well, a little after the movie. Yeah. April. And then we didn't get this until the end of the year. And then the US got freaking screwed so late. COVID, man. COVID and holidays. Yeah. Months without a Monster Arts. Months. I remember getting this. Got it right before I moved to my own place the first time. And yeah, these two released while I was 5 hours away from home at a Slipknot concert, I remember I was like, oh man, I have so much money for merch. And then I get paid the next week, so I'll be able to pay for my pre-orders for the Mechagodzilla 2021 and Ultima. And then while I was waiting at my concert, both of these came out. I watched $400 just leave my account, and I was slightly sad because I wanted to spend a ton of money on Slipknot merch, but it worked out, and that was a fun unboxing. That was very fun. I think I got them both the same day, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, I got them both the same day. I would say we could go back and watch that live stream, but Facebook decided to any live stream over a year old or 2 years old in any of the Facebook groups, regardless of what group, were auto set to delete. So a bunch of my Collect All Monster Collectors live unboxings that were done in Facebook, because I couldn't live stream to YouTube at the time. I didn't have the technology. All those streams are gone. So like the live stream for these two, I think I did one for Gigan in there as well. I didn't for Kong or Godzilla, but those were all well posted on. So like, look at that. December 2020, and then nothing for Monsters. It took 6 months for another Monsters release, and it was these two. And it was these two. We all remember these two. If you were around this time, you know. Okay, let's get caught up with chat and get back to the kind of the thing, the gigantic thing in the room. We should see our next Godzilla and Kong 2021 soon. I don't think we're ever going to see that Godzilla mold come back. I don't think the 2019 upgraded 2021 mold is coming back. I'll just say that. I don't think so. I think we're going to be getting a brand new legendary Godzilla sculpt for this movie. So I'll just say it like that. And hopefully they give us a new Kong. They have no excuse not to give us a new Kong, because the Hiya 2024 and Hiya 2021 2.0 is out. This is why Hiya is a good thing. They, within 3 years, upgraded their Kongs, and even the 2021 2.0 is a little bit upgraded from the 2024 New Empire one. So Monster Arts, I kind of do expect one. Now, would it surprise me if it was just another recolor? No. Am I going to have some visceral things to say if that's what we see in 6 months? There's going to be some words. Unless they're going to be like, we're going to do a recolor and then we are going to drop a 2.0, but it's not going to be out by the movie. So you can either choose to get the recolor version, or you can wait for this better version that'll come out later after the movie's been out with spoiler accessories and stuff, if there's anything spoiler wise, because we don't really know. I mean, we know nothing. There's leaks out there, but even those draft leaks technically aren't technically confirmed either, because we saw that with New Empire, where there's a bunch of things leaked, and then here we are, and most of those really hype things that were in those leaks aren't in the movie. Like the army of apes coming up to Earth and attacking the Earth. That never happened. And that was something that was in one of the test footage that they showed before the movie premiered. So Sea Shark, you're assuming that Godzilla is going to remain the same form. I don't think so. I think we're going to get a very, if I had to take a guess on what Godzilla is going to look like at base in the movie, he's going to be a mix between his regular design and evolved. I think it's going to be a slimmer base Godzilla with new dorsal plates. And because those dorsal plates are part of the sculpt on the Monster Arts, you can't just recolor that if it's going to be even kind of accurate to the film, if that's the case. If I'm not confirming that, I'm not saying that, because we don't know. We won't know until Legendary shows us. But I would say Godzilla's probably doesn't, he's not going to look the same. And I think there's actually some context clues that have been released that suggest that as well. But we'll see. We'll see. Or maybe he'll just keep his evolved form. We could see that too. Because technically, that where was that ride located? There was a Godzilla versus or Godzilla X Kong ride that premiered a few weeks ago that didn't do good. People aren't happy about it. It's just boring, they said. But that's canon to the movies and the timeline, and supposedly that's like before Supernova, like right before, and that is evolved fighting Shimo. So maybe we'll see evolved, and then he will evolve again in the movie. I don't know. So I would say that Godzilla mold is probably in the grave right now, until they eventually do a decisive battle version 2019, because I would say we need it, but I would really appreciate a new sculpt. But I'm so excited for these movies to come out and another wave of new products, especially for Supernova. Yes, Supernova is going to be super expensive. There's going to be, if people thought New Empire was packed, I like I said, if things are even just kind of the same from the test footage and test runs of this movie that has come out, there is going to be so much. And yes, everyone's favorite SH Monster Arts right there. You can see her. She'll be getting a re-release, probably. I can't wait for them to do a supernova version of Shimo, and she has no updated articulation or anything, and people are gonna be so fucking mad. Yum, 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 yum. I'm gonna be eating it. I'm gonna be eating it. Synthetic Ham. My first Monster Arts was this Ultima. Damn, that's a really good figure to start with. I think that figure, even not owning it anymore, I think that figure aged way better than people gave it credit for when it came out. Now, obviously, there's going to be some contention once Hiya drops theirs. But you know, I, there was an interview, Kaiju Connected, and I know he mentioned that he asked about Singular Point, and it sounded like to me that Ultima's still not confirmed yet. That they're still waiting on approval. They got the approval to prototype it to see what customers and licensors would react to. But I still don't think that's actually like 100% still coming out yet. If I understood the context correctly, which I may not have. But I do know that they were interested in doing Rodan, Anguirus, and Salunga as well, which Salunga and Anguirus would be. If Monster Arts isn't going to do them, I'll probably end up buying the Hiya versions. So, and if Hiya's doing them, even though those two, Salunga and Anguirus, have been on the Monster Arts survey list, if Hiya does get to do those, I would assume that means Tamashi isn't doing them. So, um, Tamashi Bandai gets first pick when it comes to these types of things. Is how business works. Um, I I just it's how business works, and the demand. So the reason why we haven't gotten the other forums, there's just no hype in Japan. You can go to Japan and still get a lot of the Singular Point Bandai Movie Monster Series figures for like a couple hundred yen, like a dollar or two with conversion over here. Some of them they're finally starting to get like sold out, but the ones that really did not do well was the Godzilla forms, the three forms. So I just there would have to be some serious demand for Tamashi to do them. Now maybe if the reason why we haven't had a Singular Point season 2 is because they're doing what they did with season 1 and they're doing all the science behind it and it's just going to take years for it to come out, maybe they'll um make people interested again and request those forms. I would love to see Tamashi tackle the other Godzilla forms and the other Singular Point kaiju, but Once again, if Hiya does it, that to me suggests that Tamashi probably won't touch them. And yeah, so I saw the SH for 15, not the SH, the Bandai's. 150 would be, well, that would be really cheap for Ultima. Even in Japan, that would be really cheap because I think Mandarake, I think that's actually probably what it was the last Ultima I saw. 6,000. This has to be broken. There's no way it's sold for that cheap. Dirt cheap for that release. Wow. Look at the fall of grace on that set. Wow. Yeah, it used to be 27. And that might be an opened one, so I mean it might still be 30,000. 62. Where's 17,000? You can get the set, that's good. Heat ray, that's good. You can finally get a few of these. There's a few Destroyers. Some Mega Gyruses for anyone who hasn't gotten Mega Gyrus yet. Geigen sold out for 28. He's actually, Monster X is starting to get expensive. So Kiryu's really expensive. Who was I looking for? Ultima. Where's Ultima? Did I pass Ultima? The Hedora set's also getting a little expensive. 17. Is this open? Is it opened? Yes, it is opened. With the package damaged. Looks fine. So what is it missing? It's missing the stands and one of the minifigures. So this is about 110 bucks before shipping. And it's missing things. Oh, 25. Ooh. It's about 160, 170. If you're in Japan, if you're importing it, it's 160. Then the shipping, and the shipping is really expensive. So it's about 14,000, I think, to get Ultima from Japan. Big box, big thick box. And and they could have avoided that if they would have just engineered the tail articulation even a little bit better than they did. Really good tail articulation, but there was still some improvements they should have done. So, I hate the ride. Shimo got nerfed. Yeah, Shimo did get nerfed. But you know what they did do? You were in Japan, Shark. No, he was not. No, he was not, Matt. Yeah, unless Shark's gonna prove me wrong here. No. I don't believe so. The one thing the ride did do, though, it did prove how large Shimo is. There is a very clear shot of Shimo and Kong, in battle stances a little bit, standing next to each other, and Kong is barely at her shoulder. Barely at her shoulder. Barely. Barely. So anyone who says even the monster arts is correctly scaled is wrong. Same thing with Godzilla. Like, Shimo on her oh yeah, because they included the heights. We got stats for the heights, and Shimo on all fours at the tallest point of her crystals is 160 meters tall, supposedly. Supposedly. So yeah, yeah, she's supposed to be huge. And the monster arts and the Hiya both chicken shitted out and didn't do it. Now the monster arts is closer. But the Hiya Shimo is in 6-inch scale, even though that whole line is in 7-inch scale. So I think that's the most egregious thing. That figure looks beautiful. It has beautiful articulation. It has articulated toes. And it's, besides the paint job, I feel like it's really spot on to Shimo from the movie, but the size kills me. Okay. Things don't have to necessarily be in correct scale. Of course, the closer to scale, the better, but it's got to be at least close. And that figure's just a little too far off for me. Also, I really don't like the way that her crystals are painted on the first release. So get the second release or the light up version. I think the light up supposed to be a little larger. That would be good. You're LARPing? Oh my goodness. Bro, no. I need that high Ultima. Do not even put that energy in the air. Yeah, I'm not putting energy in the air. I'm putting just facts in the air. I don't think it's fully confirmed. Now, I would say, that based on customer reactions, I would say it's almost 100% confirmed that it's happening. So I'll put it like that. So yeah, don't be worried. Don't be worried about Ultima. I would guess it's coming out. It was at SDCC and it was at that other event at the beginning of the month, that's a really good sign. So, in fact, I would not be surprised if Ultima was like one of the next announcements, seeing as we got Super Mechagodzilla. I would kind of think that Kiryu 03 would be next as well, but they might be forced to wait on that. I don't need your facts, I need my Ultima. Hey, I'm all for it too. I'm not going to buy it, even though an even larger, exceedingly larger Ultima that has even better articulation does water my mouth a lot. I just don't need two Ultimas. And, well, I don't need two Ultimas unless one's going to be a Heat Ray version. So I'll put it like that. If Hiya does the Heat Ray one and it actually comes with like the beam set up with the rings and stuff, you've got me as a customer. But if it's just base Ultima or base Ultima even with the beams, I'm probably not going to get it. So, or the rings. Uh-oh. See some chats on my Instagram. I haven't looked yet, though. Haven't looked yet. Ooh, shoot, I left my friend on red for an hour. Oopsies. I don't do that. I gotta take a quick Snapchat. I look like a dork. Once again, everyone, this is a Slipknot hat, not a Trump hat. So, don't even try. Don't even try with me. I don't need your facts, yeah. Still waiting for the other one, yeah. Hopefully, synthetic ham, hopefully we will get the other forms. It's just not likely from SH Monster Arts, is what I'll say. If we're not going to get a season 2, probably won't. Hiya, though? Maybe. I know in that interview they did mention that that license for Singular Point is like in pieces, so it's not like, oh, we've got the Singular Point license, we can do all the Godzilla forms, all the kaiju. They were still pretty limited, and they were pretty specific that the only ones they were really going to target, maybe, at least how it came off to me, was Anguirus, Salunga, and Rodan, which kind of dumb for them to do Rodan if I'm not. The Monster Arts is perfect. Like, unless they're gonna do the alpha one, which we saw for like 2 seconds and then it burst into dust. That one would be cool. That one would be cool. And because it would be overscaled, that one would probably still be slightly too big for Monster Arts, but it would look really cool because Monster Arts definitely is not going to do that. So, huh. Oh yeah, the final thing. Well, not final thing necessarily. Well, yeah, kind of final. We're getting towards the end here. Let me mute my screen so you guys can't see some photos for things that you don't need to see yet. You don't need to see a few things quite yet. They're not ready. And I also don't want to tease something that might eventually not come out. But the elephant in the room. X plus gigantic Rickshin. I'm pressing on the wrong damn thing. Not the standard. The Rick, the light up. I did not have to cancel it. It is sitting in Japan. Mine is sitting in Japan, waiting for its shipping invoice to be paid, which I don't have a job right now. So obviously I can't spend a ton of money on shipping. But I do have I do have quite a while before I have to pay for it. I'll just say that. Genki is being pretty nice. It sounds like I have about 30, 40 days to pay for it. 60 max, maybe, it sounded like. They weren't really specific with me. So, I don't know if this is, you know, something that they're kind of are, they're being a little bit more nicer with since it's large. And I've already told them a few times in emails that I fear for how much this is going to cost to ship, which is kind of funny that they haven't given me the price to ship this yet. Maybe that didn't send. Maybe I do have to resend that. Just be like, hey, I'm not ready for it to ship, but could I get an estimate on how much so I can figure out how many, if I have to sell both my kidneys. So this is confirmed. Oh, I keep doing that. But this is confirmed. I got it. It's here, or it's in Japan. And I want to say tentatively, I might be able to get this shipped before the end of the month. if I only have until the end of the month, I will get this shipped by the end of the month, one way or the other. Um, but if they let me go into September a little bit, it might be till September, which is kind of bad because if I wait till September, BBTS might be hitting me with the bill for the standard one. So, yeah, both gigantic shins looking positive, which is great because I didn't want to waste $90 canceling this guy's ship. Canceling this order because it had a deposit. It was about 80-90 bucks, 10% of the figure. Um, so yeah, the gigantic shins, both of them. Just expect a post on the page probably by the end of the month. So I want to deal with 75 first. I want to make sure that I've got 75 ordered, paid for, and shipped in a perfect world. But I didn't have to cancel Gigantic Shin, so I'm at least yet. I haven't had to cancel it yet. Really happy. So very, very excited. And that was kind of the other thing with the Shin Godzilla, the 10th anniversary celebration that I kind of wanted to bring up earlier. This was the other main attraction. There was supposed to be a very special video put together using some monster arts, but then this would have been the highlight, the big post. I was going to do a scene by scene recreation with the light up effect. And obviously, one, it got delayed, so it didn't even come out till after. Well, it came out right before anniversary. I got told that Genki got it on anniversary on the 29th. So that's when they sent me like hey, it's ready to ship if you want to ship it. If not, don't worry about it. If you want to combine it with other things, okay. So yeah. Do you even have -0 ordered? Yeah, I got the -0 monster arts ordered. Yeah, I got it on HLJ. That's why I don't want to lose my HLJ account because 75 and -0 on there because I wasn't able to get it on Genki because it sold out in 2 seconds, these clusterfuckers. I love Genki, but it was ridiculous. It didn't even go in stock and it was just gone. Same thing with Ava. Well, that's not true with Ava Koji. I was just too broke. Both of these have sold out now. All the acrylics I was so worried about are still in stock. Good to know. Biolante's still in stock. Kind of surprising, kind of not. What else? Odo is sold out. 75 is sold out. Great Clash is still up. Second Form's sold out. Oh, hey, look at this. They got some of these in stock. There you guys go. You can still pay later this, even though I'm pretty sure basically just have to pay for it since it's due at the end of the month. You'd have 9 days to pay for it, which, if you get paid in next week, that'd be enough. So, very cool. Very, very cool. Not that I would recommend importing anything. As much as I love Genki, and I think that they are, if you're gonna order something from Japan, they seem to have a deal with FedEx. I think one of the big FedEx operation is in Osaka, so it ends up not being super expensive from them to ship. Their FedEx prices are marginally cheaper than some of the other like HLJ. So HLJ, I expect to send probably 60-70 bucks on 75. If I would have ordered it from Genki, it probably would have been no more than 55. So yeah. But that's also just kind of assumption. We will see how much it takes or how much 75 is at the end of the month when HLJ gets it into my private warehouse. So yeah, that's about it for me, I think. Right? Did I have something else in the title that I forgot about? Can I see the title for the stream? Nope. Nope. That's kind of it. In fact, I actually think I kind of got more than I expected. There was 12 people Wait, what the hell? There's 10 of you watching right now? Holy mother of golly. Holy cow. I don't even pay attention to that anymore. I've kind of I'm trying to learn with these live streams whether I have one person watching or I have 10 people watching. Thank you all. Listen to me yap about gigantic Shin Godzilla. I try to make it to where you can rewatch this later. So even if chat's not active one day, at least I can make something because these live streams post to YouTube. At least then the live stream's still watchable. So thank y'all for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Forgot about talk about Bad 95. Well, that's a prototype, so I don't want to talk about that too much. It's an unpainted prototype, and I saw people saying it only looks funky because they're assuming that it actually has pull-out joints in the waist and the neck. So they should actually be able to collapse and it shouldn't look as bad. Of course, it's still way too thin, but I mean, you know, that's about it. I guess for me, I don't have to complain about 95 bald, because because I already had the Monster Arts 95. Like for me, that figure's fine enough, excluding articulation, to where like I don't need to complain about the Hiya because I already have the best one, right? Like, and that's the other thing about the Hiya 95 I didn't even bring up. It doesn't look like it articulates any better at all. Almost any better than the Monster Arts. And the Monster Arts came out in 2011. And this is a figure that is now engineered in 2026. And that is disappointing. They couldn't have found a way to be able to get the arms up like this. Really? I get suit-wise, that makes 0 sense for 93 Mechagodzilla. But these are toys. Take the realism out and give me some fucking articulation. The tail isn't the only bad thing on 95. Oh my goodness. The leg articulation sucks. One leg is out all the time, just jutted out because it's larger. 95 needs a 2.0. Bad. With brand new engineering, butterfly joints. So, and that's something that none of the Hiya figures have yet either, is butterfly joints. So, Tamashi's winning in that little realm. That's about it. That's the price point. That's why they're $40 to $80 more is the butterfly joint. And I'll gladly spend that much extra money for butterfly joints on my Godzillas. I'm not even joking. To me, that's the whole world. 75 having butterfly joints. Maybe there is a God. And maybe I need to just do better. Butterflies. Well, what do you mean pseudo? If it's just a ball joint that connects here and then goes in here, that's not a butterfly joint. And that's not even a pseudo butterfly joint. And that's engineering that. Come here, little kitten. That's the engineering on this guy, on 2.0 Super Saiyan Goku. That's what he is. It's just a ball joint into a ball joint into an open cavity. And it doesn't work. That's not enough. Not enough. These are toys. I should be able to bring my Godzilla's arms across its body like Godzilla 2000. Every Godzilla should have that. Now, obviously, I say that, and Godzilla Tokyo SOS will not have it because it's mostly just a resculpt off of O2, and O2 obviously doesn't have butterfly joints. So, I know Monster X has something, but it's not a butterfly joint, and it doesn't. Monster X, it works because it has a bicep that can twist, so you can flummox it, which is what every Dragon Ball figure basically does, besides the new ones. But like, we're in the modern age of articulation. Every figure that's, if we're talking about import and high cost imports, or even low cost imports like mid tier imports like Hiya, all these figures should have this articulation at this point. It's not hard. It really isn't. It's just designing the engineering inside smartly. And that's something that Hiya just doesn't do as the main body, because they're still doing the ball joint with a whole body sleeve over. Also looks just ugly, which once you get it posed, it's gone, but still, which I'd probably take the 99 lip over the diaper that a lot of the Monster Arts have from back in the day, like 64, 95. Like I'll take I'll take the lip hanging over the diaper look. So won't I will credit Hiya that. But Monster X could cross his arm. Yeah, like if it could actually like get its shoulders up so it could do this, that'd be really cool. I just don't think they're gonna do it. And that's disappointing. But also, probably not gonna buy it. So, because by the time I'm ready to buy Monster X and I'm at a financial point to buy Monster X, it'll be sold out. So it's already is sold out in a lot of places. So we'll see. We'll see. I definitely that isn't a knock to that Monster X figure. I think that Monster X is like amazing. And the more I see of it, the more I like. I just wish it wasn't so large because it's about the same size as the Monster Arts Destroya, and that's a little too big for me personally. I think it's a little too large for what I would want to see if I were to cross over high-end Monster Arts in my collection to avoid getting that dastardly piece POS Monster Arts Monster X for a little bit. But it's just a little too large. It's a little too large for me personally. But we'll see. You never know. I might still buy it, and I might still really like it. We might see. We might see. Maybe I'll might. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to promise anything, but I also don't want to not promise anything. Well, I don't want to be a nihilist either. Some positivity. That's what we all need, right? Positivity, especially right now. Yeah, I need positivity. Y'all might need it. I might need it. We all just need it. It's cool. Anyways, I don't know about you guys. I think I'm kind of said what I need to say, and we're sitting at 2 damn hours. Thank y'all for hanging out and chatting with me for 2 hours, listening to me ramble, rage, um, mumble across the way. I really appreciate it. It feels good to be back. I know I've said it the last few streams, but I do genuinely expect to be live streaming more. Just to kind of tease anyone who cares, I do have, well, this stream took away one of my video ideas. The other day I teased a few non-review ideas. One of them was the Hiya stuff, and I just decided let's just do it on the stream. Let's do it as a stream. That way, a video feels very targety. It feels like I'm targeting, and I don't want it to come off like that. You know, I got some critiques, but it's because I want Hiya to do better, regardless if I buy Hiya product or not, because it forces Tamashi to do better. And Tamashi doing better is only good for me because that means I just get better product out of it. So it's a win-win. Competition is great. You don't want one company in charge of everything. You want to go back to pre-2014, 2015 Godzilla toy era and wish for the downfall of Monster Arts or Hiya. And some of the other companies, like a lot of Godzilla community people do. They seem to really stick to just like one thing, and then they wish everything else would just like disappear, and it's just like that's not a good thing. That's a video as well. I'm trying to figure out how to do it appropriately. I do want to talk about the state of the Godzilla community in 2026 because it is not looking good. Like the toy collecting community, I think the community itself is kind of infringes when you look at it closer, and I think it's just a little bad. And I think there's a really simple fix to all of that, and it's something that I myself have to practice every single day in this community as well, and that's just chill the fuck out. Who cares if this brand is releasing a figure you don't like? Buy the figure you want to buy and not focus on the other shit. I'm just going back and focusing a little bit more on Hiya because my criticism will help improve Hiya and will help improve Monster Arts indirectly, as well as criticizing Monster Arts at the same time when it's necessary and objective and even opinionated. So, and I just want to be like, the channel itself is the main thing, is Monster Arts is the Rolling Stones for it, but like I want to be an articulated collector, We got Dragon Ball figures. We got Ultraman figures. You know, like that stuff. I don't want to just be locked to Godzilla Monster Arts or Monster Arts Godzilla because even though they're basically releasing a figure every month, there's more that I want to talk about. There's more things that I enjoy. It's not just this one line, even though this is the main line that I'm choosing to collect and complete. Um, yeah, imagine if the final battle Mechagodzilla came out 2 months after the OG. Could you imagine if the final battle one was up for solicitation before the OG even released? Like that's the situation. Like it's not good. That's not a good business output, and it sounds like Hiya's going to continue to do that, which might not be bad for collectors, but it's going to be bad for retailers because now people aren't going to buy the first release of these, the more expensive kaiju, which is always not going to be the Godzilla kaiju. You guys notice that? Unless it's a smaller kaiju, just like Monster Arts, Mechagodzilla, King Ghidorah, all of them, regardless of size, are typically more expensive, and that's because it's riskier for companies to do figures of those characters. Because for some reason, for as many people that complain about companies just releasing Godzilla variants over and over again, they sure do sell out every damn time across all the companies. Hiya, Monster Arts, Bandai, Banpresto, X Plus, like Godzilla is what sells. So a little bit of into knowledge if you guys didn't know that. So that's why we see a lot more Godzillas than other kaiju. Now, of course, if Monster Arts starts doing what Dragon Ball is doing, where they drop 6 Gokus in 1 year, I think this year it's 8 now. If we're counting reissues, I think it's 8 Gokus. I think it's 8 or 9. That's too much. And then no, and then just like a bunch of Vegetas as well. And now they're kind of like reissuing a bunch of Gohans over and over again. But that's probably because, like I said, Perfect Cell is coming, supposedly, according to the Tamashi people at the panel. And if Perfect Cell is incoming, you all know what has to come with Perfect Cell, right? Super Saiyan 2 Adolescent Gohan. Finally get a 3.0. Finally. Because that 2.0 sucked. That 2.0 sucked. Sucked. The battle damage one. Just not good. It wasn't horrible, but I would still take the 1.0 over that 2.0. And that 1.0 had some issues, but it had a ton of accessories. So, there's good things on the horizon. I'm going to try to, talk about other things more than just Monster Arts. Because there's more to me than that, There's more. We're at war with these animals. There's no well, I wouldn't put it like that. Like that's putting each other at edge with each other. That doesn't fix it either. But I just I miss the old days. That was kind of the nice thing about not a lot of Godzilla stuff coming out, is that when new stuff would come out, even if you weren't a fan of it, you could at least respect it and talk about things appropriately and respectfully and critique it professionally. Where now everything has to be rage bait because that's all that does well on the internet is rage bait. We know this. Analytics go to negativity. If you're posting a negative video title on YouTube, YouTube will push that into people's feeds more. Clickbait titles, X, Facebook, Instagram, all confirmed to do that, especially X. X loves stoking the flames of hate and war. My goodness. I actually do enjoy X because I've kept it pretty contained on my private one. But man, do the politics and stuff like to seep in, and the ads on X. Oh my god. Garbage. Twitter, X. I call it X because that is what it's called. But if I call it Twitter, I'm kind of like spitting in a certain somebody's face, and that kind of actually makes me a little happy. So you know what? I'm probably gonna get back to calling it Twitter, so I can digitally spit in the face of that loser. So, anyways, that's it. Before I start talking politics on the channel and I get my channel slammed, would you recommend the movie graphic Shin? 1 billion% get it before it's sold out everywhere and it's expensive. Let's go to BBTS, check if it's in stock. It is still in. Tariffs weren't even active when this released, and they still put the tariff surcharge in there. That's so shitty. And then a bunch of businesses just got refunded a bunch of tariff money, even though we're the ones that foot the bill. God damn. Yeah, even at 190, I would still recommend buying this. Actually, if you're gonna have to buy it from a corporation, oops, don't need to see that. Oh, wait, never mind. Never mind. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, they just completely unlisted the Shin. Never mind. I was going to say you could buy it from here because they had it down to like 140 one night. But it's gone. So, yeah. Yeah. I would recommend the movie graphic Shin. 1 billion%. It's not even close. Especially if you don't have the original Awakening. But even if you do, I would say it's worth it. Because at least the beams, if you want to ignore not having the split jaw with the movie graphic plus Shin, at least the beams still work and you can make it work. So, yeah, because it's the aftermarket on this, the original Awakening is still too crazy. Like people still want like $300, $400 for it. The accessories aren't worth that much. And that's coming from a diehard Shin fan. So, I'm buying everything on Kappa Hobby from now on. I'm told that Kappa Hobby is actually really good. I just haven't gone and checked. So, if I tell people I'll kidnap them if they don't get a figure, I'll get a ton of attention. Yes. Yeah, well, you you do actually kind of know what happens. But that was a joke, and that was just a really dumb situation. Probably why someone doesn't come on my channel anymore and talk in my comment sections, which is fine. I don't care. Don't be an ass to my friends. How about that? Don't be an ass to my friends. And that's not aimed at you, Shark. That's defending you. You're so cheap. Yeah. But the thing is, remember, you're importing, and what's expensive right now in Japan isn't the conversion rates at retail, it's the shipping. Especially because someone increased tariffs after tariffs were already deemed illegal, and we shouldn't be having tariffs, which should mean that shipping prices should have come down a little bit, and they ended up going back up. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Tariffs are back. Well, kind of back. There's more countries just not pushing for it. So, if your country of origin ignores it and it's able to get past the checks, you might not have to pay tariffs or pay as expensive tariffs. But, if you get in trouble, then that place will get in trouble and then they might not be able to ship things, or the US will stop accepting shipments from those countries. So it's also like, that's kind of like that's a loaded cannon of a situation where it's like, we don't want to support these illegal tariffs, but at the same time, do I want all shipments from Japan being blocked because Japanese companies are trying to fight with the general public and not charge tariffs on 90% of the things that come through? So, yeah. Anyways, Larissa's going to be getting home soon, and I want to hang out and see her. And also, I see Tater is watching me from the hallway. So, I'm going to sign out here. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you all for chilling and hanging out. We still have like 9 people watching. That's crazy. Y'all are amazing. Thank y'all so much. Oh, yeah, so there is a video coming out soon that's not a review. I talked about it. It's actually going over the boxed collection for Monster Arts. My boxed Monster Arts collect. Well, the boxes of my Monster Arts figures that are in that tower that you currently can't see because there's a light in front of it. But the tower of boxes got reorganized, let's say, and I did make a video on it, and it's probably going to be a day or two until it comes out. I think I'm going to force myself to post it unless I'm just really unhappy with it. But there's a lot of editing that's going to go in and a lot of trimming. So that will be coming out soon. Be on the lookout for that. I know it's not everyone's favorite thing, but I like the boxes for Monster Arts, and I feel like they should get more attention than they do because I feel like a lot of people have forgotten at just how freaking cool those boxes are. So, anyways, that's it from me. Everyone have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you in the next one.